XFN present USA versus Puerto Rico. We're going to kick things off tonight with a 140-pound catchweight kickboxing bout. Let's bring out our first fighter. He is fighting out of the blue corner, Ortiz.
Is there a link for this here?
Yeah, there is. It's on Flow Grappling. I'm not sure what the exact link is. We need to get that information from either from Chip or from, I think the ring announcer may have it also.
And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, Martinez.
So the first bout of the night is going to be 140 pounds. They're going to do K1 rules. So it's basically kickboxing rules. I'm not clear what the clinch rules are here because it varies depending on what event, whether it's amateur or not amateur, as to what they'll allow in the clinch. They probably don't allow elbows in K1, but usually some knees are accepted. Okay. So you'll see kicks, you'll see punches, and you'll see knees.
Groundwork.
What's that?
You see groundwork.
No, you won't see any groundwork on this fight because this is K1, so it's kickboxing only. They got a mix tonight, so some of the fights are going to be K1 rules, some of them are going to be MMA rules. We'll try to make it clear as they come up.
And these are two guys making their debut.
Yeah, both of these are debuts. Chris Ortiz out of Fight Team LLC, coming from Wesley Chapel.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening bout of UMMAF and XFN present USA versus Puerto Rico is a 140-pound catchweight kickboxing bout set for 3 2-minute rounds of action. Introducing first, he is fighting out of the blue corner, standing at 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 140 pounds, and making his amateur kickboxing debut and fighting out of Fight Team LLC in Tampa, Florida. He is Chris and his opponent fighting out of the red corner, standing at 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 134 pounds, also making his amateur kickboxing debut and fighting out of American Top Team in Valdosta, Georgia. He is Mason Martinez. Referee side of this fight, Mike Puerto.
Ortiz, the bigger fighter.
Yeah, they both weighed in at 140 pounds.
The taller fighter.
Yeah, rangier, definitely. You can see he's got some rangy limbs there. They touch up in the middle. Mason Martinez in the red, Chris Ortiz in the blue. Nice leg kick there by Ortiz. Takes Martinez off his feet. Nice jab. Big right hand there.
There's no filling out process. They're going right to it.
Yeah, Ortiz with a nice kick to the body there. Still sorting the range out.
Yeah, both trying to find the range.
That's a nice inside leg kick there from Martinez. Martinez in the southpaw stance. Ortiz orthodox. You see Ortiz really taking control of this fight here. Nice jab from Ortiz.
More calm.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't look like a debut fighter.
No, he look more seasoned, more calm, just waiting for his opportunities. So when you see that touch him with the jab, just keep him at bay.
He's trying to throw that straight left down the pipe, which a lot of times if southpaw fighters will go to that. It's a good tool against an opposite-handed kick.
Good jab, good jab.
Yeah, Ortiz really controlling.
Keeping his distance.
Yeah, but controlling the center.
Oh,
nice leg kick there.
Now, although it's very early in this fight, I can tell that Ortiz has a sense of confidence about himself, and he's just putting those punches out there just to fill out his range, like you guys said earlier. But you can tell he really has decided how he wants to carry on this fight, and it's with his hands.
Yeah, absolutely. A big right hand there from Ortiz, another one. Martinez hurt by those right hands. Clean break at the bell.
Closed out the rally you're supposed to.
Yeah, absolutely. Ortiz took control of that round.
You said it earlier. You said Ortiz was the bigger guy, and it's showing. I mean, he's throwing some of those straight right hands, and it's knocking Martinez off of his balance a bit. And size sometimes really does matter, right?
Yeah, and more than, you know, when you get fighters like this, they're in their debut fights, a lot of times if they get hurt early, they get hit hard early, it's much harder for them to come back. They haven't been there before in a fight with a bunch of people around. So as guys get deeper and deeper and get more fights on their record, you know, you see them be a little bit more resilient, and you don't really count them out when they get hit early. But for a debut guy getting rocked early in the first round, it's a tough thing to come back from. So we're going to see what Martinez is made of here.
The heart is definitely going to be tested.
Yes, sir.
See, in this round, let's look at what, you know, what's the game plan. I'm looking at each fighter's game plan. The first time to fill out process, see what changed in the second round.
You can find out a lot about coaches here too. You know, when guys come out and make really good adjustments and you see a difference made, you know, that's credit to a really good coach a lot of times.
Tough fights, it's the corners who win the fights.
Yeah, 100%. They can see things that the fighters can't see.
One of the things I'm noticing about Martinez is he has a lot of really jumpy motions, right?
Yes.
And sometimes, right, it might be a habitual thing for a guy to do, but the reality is that's energy. Every twitch, every move, every bounce that you put out, right, it's energy that you could be saving for those punches.
Yeah, it's efficiency of movement that you're looking for.
Know how to pace yourself, when to explode. Because that jittery movement works. At the right time.
There you go. Martinez with a nice straight left hand followed by the right hook there. Both found a home.
See Ortiz poised, good shot, good right hand.
Ortiz is doing a really good job of leading with his hands and then following with those really hard leg kicks.
Ortiz is a strong fighter.
That's another big jab.
Calm. They got the good jab. The rangefinder. It's the rangefinder.
Yeah, he's finding a home for that jab. Snapping his head
right
back
hand
every
coming.
time.
With the leg kick.
Big right hand there from Martinez. The only time Ortiz seems to get countered is when he starts to get real loose and loopy with his punches. When he stays disciplined and throws right down the chute, he's in full control of this fight.
Yes. You got the rangefinder again. Using his distance, his arm length. That's Martinez's fight, getting around him. If you're going to bounce me, do it on the corners, not in front of your fighter.
Yeah, I'd like to see more lateral movement from Martinez. He's standing directly in front of Ortiz.
Those leg kicks are very, very crucial right now.
Yeah.
You know, some of the things, you know, one of the things to think of when you think of a young fighter, right, and a guy who's inexperienced, doesn't have a lot of fight time under his belt, is they don't necessarily understand how to use the ring yet, right? So you talk about lateral movement, that's strategy, that's all planned, and that's a way to, you know, make your opponent move around. But sometimes young fighters, they're just thinking about being the aggressor and being the guy that gets points and lays some hits. So and it's not always about that belt. Is they don't necessarily understand how to use the ring yet, right? So you talk about lateral movement, that's strategy, that's all planned, and that's a way to make your opponent move around. But sometimes young.
That's where the corner come and wake the fighter up. Listen, you need to do this.
Yeah, got to stay
corner work is
disciplined.
very important. Yes.
But I thought Martinez showed a lot more of himself in that second round, and that resiliency that we were wondering if we were going to see. I think we saw a lot right there. He came back, and that was a much closer second round than the first round.
It really was. I mean, early on looking at this thing, I didn't want to count him out, but the reality is he didn't look too great in that first round. So this third round, he's going to have to put out a lot. Don't exert yourself so much early in the round. Find a way to be methodical and find a way to be the victor in this round so you can tie this thing up.
Good point.
I believe this is the third and final round. Ortiz looking to take the center again. Martinez dictating a little more.
Inactive.
Got underneath that right hand.
Ortiz wants to knock out. He wants to knock out. He's a more powerful puncher.
And he's loading up on those left hands.
Those shots, yep. If he just stick the jab, keep sticking the jab, he control it.
Yeah, that jab.
Things will open up.
That jab has been so effective for him. I mean, when he throws it, you can see him really snap Martinez's head back. He's very accurate. He's quick with it. And there's another inside leg kick. Ortiz really. Martinez has not used his leg kicks or any kicks for that matter at all. And I think that's proven to be the difference in this fight.
I think it's primarily because his limbs are just much shorter than Ortiz's, and so sometimes he's putting that leg out there, and by the time it's touching Ortiz, it doesn't even have any momentum.
Oh, big left hand there from Ortiz, right as Martinez was trying to throw those kicks. He was trying to throw a little outside leg kick, and Ortiz absolutely
body
clipped him.
shots. That's good to see from the young fighter, body shots.
Hey, but I'm going to tell you this, man. Martinez is a tough guy.
Absolutely.
He's a tough guy. I mean, that punch staggered him, and he's still in this thing.
He's right in front of the guy. He's coming.
Nice teep kick there from Ortiz.
Ortiz taking over now.
Another big inside leg kick. Kick to the body. Another front kick from Ortiz. He's used all the kicks.
Controlling the distance as you do a total fighter. Controlling the distance.
Right head kick there from Ortiz.
Good job.
Oh. They are ending it
That's
with a
how
flurry.
you close it out.
They are
That's
ending it
a
with a
good.
flurry.
That's how you
What
close
a
it out.
close.
That was a good fight. That was a way to start the evening.
Yeah,
They closed it out.
that is a fantastic start.
Cannot question Martinez's heart.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He came to fight. He did not wilt.
And you talk about your careers and what it looks like over the next 5 to 10 years. A lot of guys are always going to go back to that first experience, that first opportunity to get out in front of a crowd and put their talent right on the showcase. And so both of these guys have something to be proud about. It's not necessarily about the wins and losses, but one of these guys is going to take a look at this film from this fight tonight 5 years from now and say, wow, look how much my jab has grown. Look how much I've grown as a guy who can maneuver, and look how much my defense has grown.
You want to evolve as an athlete always. No angles.
Yeah, that was an excellent opener. A lot of times people go to these events and their expectations for the first fight, or at least even the first few fights, are not very high.
Right.
Because you're going to see debut guys. That's a real good fight. For a debut fight, for two guys, opening fight in the card, that's about as good as you're going to see.
Yeah, I agree.
So I guess we could agree the win go to Ortiz.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
I would say
3 rounds, shutout.
I'll probably give him the edge in all 3 rounds. I think Martinez made the second round extremely close. The difference being the low kicks mostly. The low kicks were damaging. They were hard. He maintained distance with those leg kicks, and he scored big points. And without the shin pads, we would have had a different outcome.
Yeah. I think Martinez. You know, I think he's a guy who just needs to develop his inside game. I really do, and I think, you know, with him not being a guy with the long reach and the long legs, he needs to work inside of his opponents and find a way to land those nice rib shots and those straight right hands.
All three judges ruled this fight a unanimous decision in favor of the blue corner.
So there it is, Chris Ortiz from Fight Team LLC in Tampa, representing with his debut win. Martinez takes the L, but nothing to be ashamed of in that fight.
Not at all.
At all.
Yeah, it's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, you're getting your career started, man, and it's people that are sitting at home that couldn't do half of what these guys just did this evening. So now he can go back to his family and, you know, watch the tape and find out how to get better.
Yep, and he will get better. And, you know, I think he's got some things to build on for sure. You know, he showed some flashes in there. And I tell you, it takes such guts to climb through those ropes. Anybody who's got it in them to go in there, I have the ultimate respect for. I think that takes a lot of heart and a lot of courage to get in there in front of all these people.
Yeah.